The penultimate leg of the Furussia FEI Nations Cup Jumping Series brings the competition to the UK and the world-famous Hickstead International Arena in the south of England. The Furussia FEI Nations Cup Jumping Series has been divided into 6 regions for the purpose of qualifying teams for the World Final in Barcelona. The 6 regions are Europe Divisions 1 and 2, North America, South America, Middle East, Asia and Africa. Qatar and Saudi Arabia are already qualified from the Middle East region, as are the USA and Canada from North America. Bratislava in Slovakia played host to the 8th leg of the Furussia FEI Nations Cup Europe Division 2 series, and it was Finland who collected the most points for the highest placing of the day when slotting into 3rd. This leaves them in 4th place on the Europe Division 2 leaderboard, which continues to be led by Belgium going into the next leg at Gijón, Spain at the end of August. Switzerland and the Netherlands hold the top 2 places of the Europe Division 1 league table, and despite having no more chances to score points, are quite secure. 3rd placed France have elected to score points here at Hickstead, as have Germany, the Ukraine and Great Britain, who will be looking to move up from the bottom of the pile. With only 2 more competitions remaining in the league, it is crucial for teams earning points to perform well in order to qualify for the World Final in Barcelona.
Well, obviously we need a good result. It's one of our counting Nations Cups. We're bottom of the league, which we knew we were going to be bottom of the league because obviously we have 2 counting Nations Cups left, and it was mathematically always going to be that Ukraine and us were going to be bottom 2, so we knew that. We need 2 nice results, one hopefully here at Hickstead and one at Dublin next week, and we've got a strong team here, strong team next week, and we'll try and do it the best we can.
Yeah, there's a lot of top teams here, so everyone's going to be trying, and listen, on Nations Cup Day anything can happen. It's a good competition. It's always very exciting.
We have a very experienced team here. Markus Ening, he will start as he did in Falsterbo. Then Meredith Michael Speerbaum, Hans-Dieter Dreher and Ludger Beerbaum will be our last rider, and we try to do our best.
100 points are on offer for a win, 90 for 2nd, down to 64 points for 8th place. The competition is over 2 rounds over the same track, 4 riders per team, the best 3 results to count for each team. The story so far. Michaels Beerbaum was the only one of the German foursome to fault first time out when her fabulous 10-year-old mare Belladonna was strong on the run after the open water. But with clears from the remaining 3, the Germans were already in control, with the only 0 score at the end of the first round. And even though the Dutch, French and Americans were just a single fence behind, and the Ukrainians were carrying only 5 faults, it seemed the writing was already on the wall as round 2 began, with the Irish and British each carrying 9 faults and the Swiss lying last with 20. We join the action in the 2nd round with your commentators Philip Gazala and former international show jumper Stephen Hadley as he looks at the course in detail.
Steve, we're having another quick look at the course. Do you want to run through that?
Yeah, you know, I mean, a couple of 3 horses, I thought it was going to become a problem fence. The 2 or 3 horses in the first round had the first fence down, but nobody since. No big deal there, a triple bar, typical Hickstead fence. A lot of problems there, that skinny plank down the arena on a tightish stride. This double hasn't yet produced a lot of problems, but the next fence down the hill has, the gate. A lot of horses have had that down. This double coming up the hill here, a lot of power on the angle there. Fair old camber, but in fairness, they've jumped it very well. Around the arena, round the corner rather, to that vertical fence at 160, hasn't caused a lot of problems. The water, it's about average amount of problems. That first rail of that oxer has caused a lot of problems. It's a real come and get me fence down the hill. 1 or 2 horses had the planks, they always do here. It's a big plank at 160. And now down the hill here, fairly straightforward related distance. The time, I think, is not particularly tight. I think it's fairly generous. We haven't had many with time faults. I think sometimes Nations Cups can get blighted by time faults. And you know, I think to jump a course this size or even a bit bigger, as we've seen, you know, horses and riders have got to have time to do it.
Ireland cannot earn points today, but they would love to win and match their winning performance here from 12 months ago. So Shane Breen, clear in the first round on 'Cause I Can. Can he repeat that performance?
Just saying earlier on about Shane Breen, you know, he's had one or two good horses along the line, notably World Cruise of Vinnie Duffy's big grey horse that he'd had such wonderful success with for a year or two, and but he's just been short of an absolute top horse. But he's got two horses now that are very good. This horse is a good horse, and he's got another one coming through, a horse called Balloon, who he's jumped in Nations Cups already, first time this year. And Shane Breen would be, in the opinion of a lot of his colleagues and contemporaries, is to be a hugely talented rider. He can ride anything. What a super round, and a first double clear. Oh, proper job. Yeah.
Well, sorry, carry on, Steve.
Cool as a cucumber. I'll tell you a little story about him. I was at Shane's place one day. He was riding on a real difficult mare, a bay mare, and this mare was having a real go at him, and she stood straight up on her hind legs in the middle of the arena, pawing at the ground like as if he was nearly going to fall over backwards. His mobile phone goes, "What does your man do?" He answers it. Not kidding.
A classic Irish horseman. Now, Cassia Rivetti. Vivant. Fabulous clear in the first round. Ukraine on 5 penalties.
It's a very committed stride to that gate. You know, there's not much, very much in the horse's hands, because it's just a very forward bowling on stride. There's no real distance problems here this afternoon, but you've got to have horses on these committed distances. Like that's a bit of a committed distance round that corner, but nowhere near as bad as the stride to the gate. And another one there you have to keep bowling onto that water, because you can't change your mind at that water. It's just too big.
We've got Ulrich Kirchhoff just come and sat next down to us here, getting very excited.
A very excited Ulrich Kirchhoff, I might add. Riding every fence with Cassia Rivetti.
Shame we haven't got another microphone.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I would have got his opinions as he's gone round, but important round for the Ukraine here, and it's going to come off. That's, oh, wow, they didn't deserve that. A beautiful round all the way round.
Yeah.
That was a surprise. I think, I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody else has had that out part of that double down. They might well have done. One or two have had the in part. But he just made up a lot of distance down the arena. And that, again, a committed distance, a forward distance. We are going to see it again. Gets a good shot there, makes him snap in front, comes on the forward one, snaps again. He had it down, didn't he?
So Roberto, Cassia Rivetti, a clear and 4 faults. Which puts the pressure on Ukraine.
It does a bit.
Again, they're here to gain points today. Penelope Leprovo.
Penelope.
Nayana.
Jumped a lovely round last time, Phil. Clear.
Good. He's had the white horse down, the Uffington white horse, so on 4.
You can't see at this moment that the winner is going to come from anything other than these teams that are on 4 faults or clear in the first round, can you really? You know, and the USA have, the other riders have got to dig them out of it again now, because they'll be anxious to discard the 8 of Cristallo's. But with France, the Netherlands and Germany, all their first riders in the first round jump clear.
She'll be kicking herself with that fence down.
She will, yeah.
So a clear and 4 for Penelope Leprovo for France. Still leaves France in a very strong position.
Very open, isn't it?
It is.
Till Marcus Eining goes.
I was going to say Germany, they certainly won't be complacent, but they are looking very good at the moment. What happens here, Steve?
I'm going to say it again for about the third time this afternoon. The horse didn't jump high enough. It's a big fence. It's 160. It's very flat cups. And the horse, it takes an awful lot of care from a horse to jump it. This horse jumped a very good round in the first round.
Taballio, ridden by Albert Vaughan for the Netherlands.
It's a real jumper's fence, that gate. And the plank at fence 3. You need a horse with an awful lot of care. The horses, you can't help them. You can't carry them over fences like that. They've got to be helping you. Look how that horse tried to jump that water, and I mean, it wouldn't be the easiest ride to it. He went to it better that time than he did in the first round. See, on a horse that's as careful as this, see how he's running round this corner here to save a bit of time. But he turned quite sharp to the planks to make sure he doesn't get a time fault. Oh! And if he hadn't turned sharp to that plank, he would have had a time fault. And he's just had 4 faults, as did France and the Ukraine. And that was a very shrewd move. OK, he's had a fence down. Very shrewd move on Albert Vaughan's part there to run round that corner and turn very short to those planks, because without those 2 manoeuvres, he would have had a time fault. And he knew that.
Well, this is now down to the nitty-gritty, because we've got the team in front, Germany, who've come forward with 0 penalties from the first of the 2 rounds. Marcus Enning, Plot Bleu.
They're going to go even, if he's clear now, they're going to go even further in front. There'll be 2 fences in front, as it stands at the moment, but still a long way to go. We mustn't preempt it. But this man,
you never get bored with watching Marcus Enning.
He is some coachman, isn't he? But when
he's
the
so
chips
quiet, isn't he?
When the chips are down, though, he's doing such a lot. He doesn't look. He's rather like John Whittaker. Never looks as if he's doing a lot, but he's doing everything. Change legs, got it. But you see, he just cantered to that water there. Didn't have him out of a rhythm at all, because he knew he was going to jump it. Gathered stride that he had him on there. Punched him off the ground. Look how short he's turning here. 1, 2, 3, 4 strides away, that's all. Knows that the time is okay. He's just pinched the time there. Got to hold him together down here. Short. Sit still, up he comes. Now go and beat that.
He is such a pleasure to watch. Marcus Enning, Plot Bleu, 3 times winner of the FEI World Cup final.
Second double clear.
And the second double clear here this afternoon at Hickstead.
You know, and
Shane Breen for
what's to come with the Germans as well. Meredith Michaels-Beerbaum had a bit of an unlucky 4, jumped a very good round. Hans-Dieter Dreyer and Ludger Beerbaum both clear. They're going to take an awful lot of pegging back now. This is a carbon copy at the moment, Phil, of Falsterbo. because for my money in Falsterbo, when Marcus Henning going first again, great pathfinder, going first again, when he jumped his second clear in Falsterbo, that was near enough game, set and match. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen here this afternoon, but it's going to take a landslide to beat him now.
Peter Charles, Marcus Odi de Flevon. Peter had just the one down in the first of the 2 rounds. Will funnel 8 faults in his round just a few moments ago, so they need some zeros on the scoreboard.
A lovely stride there, that water. Peter waited. Oof, well ridden. Peter waited until the stride came to him, till he got the one he wanted, and then gunned it to pick up the bit of impulsion he'd lost. And then
3 obstacles.
Picked her up again. This is a very good round indeed, and a critical one for Britain. The time is just about okay.
Got away
is
with
it? Oh, just great round there for Peter Charles.
Great Britain needed that, Steve.
Oh, badly.
Badly.
Badly. Yeah. To have any chance at all, you know. I mean, they're talking. We're not talking about winning it.
No, it's getting some of these valuable points.
Exactly.
The closer they can get up there, they're not going to win it.
Peter did so well there. He rode the water to perfection and then absolutely grabbed her, this 11-year-old mare, to keep her off that front rail and there as well. Got hold of both ends.
Well, we've got the second rider in the arena for the United States of America, Reed Kessler, riding Silana.
Well, this is one of several good horses, probably the best one she's got, the most one she uses the most. Silana Reed Kessler. She's a talented girl. What is she, 19, 20? I mean, she's only a kid, but this is a critical round here now for the States, because they've already 8, unfortunately, with Richard Spooner's horse again. But in the first round, she was brilliantly clear, and they went clear, 4 and clear. Wham. Now then, that's got to count them, so they will have at least 8 carrying the 4.
Oh.
And the same thing happening again.
Well, the gap is widening.
Yeah, it is.
Super through that last line, but too early a fence down, so 8 faults for Reed Kessler and Silana. And a frustrating look on
2 8s.
Reed's face, having had a clear in the first round over the identical course.
You see, they've got to carry one of those 8s now, so it's there on a minimum now of 12.
Clear in round A. Maria Heckart, myself the brave, with her second round. 2 double clears so far. Shane Breen for Ireland and Mark Ascending for Germany.
I was just about to say that, Phil, you know, because it can't be that easy, can it, with just 2? Normally, though, in a Nations Cup, you'd have anything between 2 and 3 would be the normal double clears, 4, maybe 5, not that many. No, certainly no more.
I think I had 6 in Rome, I think, or something.
6 where?
In Rome.
In Rome, yeah.
But that's unusual, as you say.
That must have
Oh,
been.
how did that? I was going to say, how did that stay there? It didn't.
Yeah, no. Nations Cups do vary a lot in size. They'll cop onto that she's had a fence down in a minute. That 0 should be 4. You know, Rome, if they had that many double clears, it couldn't have been huge. It must have been very jumpable, mustn't it?
Ooh. Coming in on 4 faults.
Time's okay.
That's 4, not 0 as on the screens. So a 4 faults, and these faults at this end of the game, when we're down to the last 3 teams, start to... I mentioned about the gap widening. It is widening to Germany at the moment. Germany is still on 0. France came forward with 4 faults, Steve, from the round A. They've got to discard. They've only had 2 to go, both on 4 faults. They've got to carry another 4, whatever happens.
Absolutely, they can't finish on less than 8.
No. That's that pole going backwards, and that was incredible.
Sometimes does that. They roll up the cup and then roll off backwards. Right.
Looks like we've
missed out.
By my reckoning, I think we've missed out Mikael Henriks.
Yeah.
Well, Meredith Michaels-Beerbum with Belladonna.
This mare jumped a lovely round first time for just 1 down. And then the next 2, Hans-Dieter Dreyer and Ludger Beerbaum, both were clear. If this jumps are clear, she looks like doing. There's no way they'll get beaten. 3 fences.
Not with Hans-Dieter Dreyer and Ludger Beerbaum to come.
No, exactly. Time's okay. It's all over, isn't it?
Yes. Well, a lovely clear from Meredith Michaels-Beerbum and Belladonna. If you're watching from the Netherlands, we don't actually know why Michael Henriks has not come forward. Wait and see. But if we do get any information, we will of course tell you. That might unfold shortly. But that is the end of the 8 teams then, or 7 have come forward. And at the moment, Germany still on a possible 0 score. Very, very impressive indeed. Scott Brash.
This could change things for Britain, you know.
Ursula.
Because this jumped a cracking round last time.
It needs to this time.
But, you know,
they need the points.
Clear. Get that out of the way. Done it. Now, if he could go clear, discard Will Funnell's 8, and Ben Mayer can improve on his 8 of the first round and go clear. That could leave. Britain can't finish on better than 9, and that time fault is not going to help them against the 8s, if there are any 8s, which is too early to say at the moment. I mean, there's no way they're going to win it, but they could get valuable points for being in the first 4 or 5. 3 fences. 85 seconds, the time allowed, and that's okay. And a beautifully ridden round there by Scott Brash. That was a superb round again, and our 3rd double clear. A lovely performance.
Well, a fabulous double clear from the Olympic team gold medalist from London just a year ago, Scott Brash and Ursula. And that, at the moment, as you say, if Ben Maher can go clear on Triple X, his Olympic ride, Great Britain will end on 9. And that is surely going to leave them in a better position than they were after the first round.
Absolutely. You know, it's going to be a fascinating round to watch of Ben Maher's, to watch what he can conjure up from Triple X. And make no mistake, he will be asking for all the stops to be pulled out. Anyway, here we go on to the Ukraine.
Scott Brash jumping a double clear at Hickstead, and as I mentioned earlier, his first visit ever to Hickstead, so he'll remember that day.
He will, yeah. Augurs well for the future. Anyway, back to the Ukraine.
Ulrich Kirchhoff.
Struggling, aren't they?
And Verdi. Yes, they've had a disappointing second round.
Yeah, 4 and a 12. And both him and Katarina Offel, Ulrich Kirchhoff here, and Katarina Offel, both on 4 in the first.
Well, a matched round from the first round from the former Olympic champion Ulrich Kirchhoff. Another one on 4 faults, so their best score will be 13, which is similar to the best possible score for Ireland. Great Britain, best possible score, 9. Switzerland out of it for the afternoon.
So are the United States, aren't they? Next to go.
Well, they're out of it from a winning point of view, I think, but if they can discard one of the 8, they could still be ahead of Great Britain and Ireland, because they could be on, if they get another couple of clears, they could be on 12. And McLean Ward is now in here with Rothschild.
They've jumped 2 clears, haven't they?
McLean Ward had just the one down in the first round.
He's a very good rider, isn't he, McLean? He's got 2, 3 very good horses at the moment. Antari's a good grey horse, and the good horse, the brown horse that he rode in the World Cup final. He finished bang up the top of the pile there, didn't he? 4th or 5th something overall on a horse that's relatively inexperienced at this level.
Look at that.
Here he is with another one in a Nations Cup. He did a good gathering up job there, didn't he, after that water. And of course, don't forget how much success he had with that wonderful chestnut mare, Sapphire. Well, proper job, wasn't it?
That's the first of the 2 clears they need.
Yeah, but they, you know, the best they can finish on is 12.
12, yeah, but again, I ought to just say at this point that I have just heard from Bratislava, the Division 2 of the Furussia FEI Nations Cup in Bratislava has been won by a young American team. They fielded a team in Division 2 in Bratislava this afternoon, and we've just heard, have run out the winners there. So many congratulations to Team USA, Robert Ridlin, Chef de Keep. They won't be winning here in Division 1 this afternoon, but that was a very, very good round indeed from McLean Ward and Rothschild. Now for France. Marc Delassa, Bobby Ware, de Pilier-Jour.
Interesting, Phil, that France, you know, they had a good first round. They had 2 clears and 2 fours, but it's the wrong way round now, because their first 2 clears, Penelope Reprova and Marie Acard, both transmitted that to 4 faults in this round. And these 2 riders here, Marc Delassa and Kevin Stout, both had 4 in the first round. And they're carrying 4. So if they got 2 clears, they'd be on, which they're not going to do.
Not now.
Not now.
Oh.
It's even worse. Forget it.
And this is an important day for France.
It is, isn't it?
Because it's a point counting day for them. Oh. Well, a clear from Kevin Stout would leave them on 12.
That's a big disappointment, that, isn't it? That round. It's gone from 4 to 12. Kevin Stout could well jump a clear. He'd done a very good first round. And a bit unlucky, I thought. But the best they can come up with is 12.
So Hans Dieter Dreyer, Germany, and Magnus Romeo, and where it says at the bottom of your screen, total 0, that is what they're on at the moment. No penalties.
They can still win it with that.
They can.
They might even still do it with 2 down.
But they'll do it with. They could still.
Still win it with 2 down.
Well, in fact, if they had 3 down, they'd be level with France.
Yeah.
And the United States at the moment. They still have Ludger Beerbaum to come.
This isn't going to have another one, though, is it?
Oxer and the double. Can Germany?
2 fences. Time's good. That's it.
That's it.
All over.
Well, many congratulations to Team Germany, because although the competition isn't over in terms of competitors still to jump, they cannot be beaten. So, Germany, whatever happens, take the 2013 Hickstead leg of the Furussia FEI Nations Cup. So we may not see Ludger Beerbaum again. There's a lovely shot of the water. What a super shot.
Yeah. Good judging as well.
Well, we'll wait and see if we're going to see.
Well, you won't see Ludger.
The Ludger, but I don't think we will, as you say, because they came here, and many congratulations to Otto Becker. They wanted and needed the 100 points. We still won't know. It's still too early to say whether they'll make it to the final. Well, back to the Swiss. Christina Leiber, LB Eagle Eye, 8 faults in the first round. The discounted score for Grunig's team in round 1. It's not really a relevant situation for Switzerland.
No, looking down, you know, the battle is on, as we've said, for the 2nd, 3rd and 4th places, because if all 8 horses go clear here, which obviously they're not going to do, but if all 8 went clear, that would leave the United States on 12 and France on 12 and Ireland on 13, Britain on 17, behind the Netherlands, who would be on 16, and Germany of course will finish on 4. So there's a battle here between France and the United States for 2nd, isn't it, really? Ireland, even if Billy Toomey jumps clear, which he jumped a brilliant clear first time for Ireland, they've got a time fault, which would leave them on 13 instead of 12.
This is a good round from Christie, a little bit, unfortunately, too good, too late. It's still on clear, and she's jumped to clear, so a great finish.
Great finish
for the Swiss.
That's a great effort for Christina Liebauer, because she had 8 the first time, and to go from 8 to a clear is very good indeed. But you would never take that away from her, because she's been a top-class rider for Switzerland for many, many years, was on many, many Nations Cups. She had a great horse called No Mercy, and he was an out-and-out belter of a horse. Could jump Grand Prix or Nations Cups like Shelling Peas. He was a very good horse indeed. Eventually succumbed to injury, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean that Christina can't ride anymore. She certainly can. She's no one-horse wonder, but they finish on 32.
32, they do indeed.
Now,
Billy Toomey.
He's going for, you know, well, 4th place at best, isn't he, really?
Well, a clear from him, which would be a double clear, put him on 13, won't it?
Yeah. He jumped a super round first time. And this clear. Only a 10-year-old, Bay by Vangelis.
Super double clear from Billy Toomey.
Was a very good round again. I mean, at least the equal of his first round. At 4 double clears?
4 double clears so far. And that leaves Ireland on 13.
Yeah, those 4 double clears. Shane Breen, Because I Can. Scott Brash with Ursula. And Marcus Henning, of course, Plot Blur for Germany.
Now, this round could put Great Britain into 2nd place. Do you agree with that?
No. Because if he's clear... Ah, yeah, right. On 9. Yes, quite right. Because they've got clear from Peter Charles and from Scott Brash. They've got to delete the 8.
Yeah. This is very important.
Very important
because it's 90
indeed.
points for 2nd.
as I said earlier on, you know, Bill and Ben will be pulling out all the stops on this one to eradicate the 8 faults in the first round, but that hasn't happened. So now, Triple X is not at the races today, is he?
No.
This is not his normal form at all.
That puts them on 17 faults. They can't better that.
No, 17, yeah.
Well, we're all working hard here with the mass, but the mass are not looking good for Great Britain. So that'll be the discounted score from Ben Mayer and
17.
Triple X. Leave them on 17. So disappointed couple of rounds from the Olympic team combination. Right, Ukraine.
I don't know what's ailing him today, but I mean that's just not Triple X, is it? 8 and 12, not over a track like this. I think Ben's face tells it all, doesn't it? Really, there'll be another day for those two.
Yeah, well, indeed. Katerina Offel now for the Ukraine pour le passage.
The United States or France, Phil, are fighting it out for second now, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, they both, it depends who out of Beezy Madden and Kevin Stote jumper clear. If they both do, they both finish on 12, they'd be equal second, wouldn't they? The States have got an 8 and 8 and a clear. If they had another clear, they'd have an 8
Correct.
and a 4, which is 12. And France have got 4, 4 and 12.
Ukraine, like Great Britain, end on 17 penalties. Well, I'm just looking across to the stands and I can see Ludger Beerbum casually walking along with a group of friends, so I don't think we'll be seeing
No, he
Ludger.
certainly won't. No. He's walking with his little girl there. He's
Yes.
Recently remarried again and got a small family again.
Well, what a fantastic round we saw from this wonderful lady earlier, Beezy Madden. Cortez.
It'll be a joy, actually. I know we've seen the winners and a little bit of an anti-climax, but still plenty of top-class show jumping to watch, in so much as Beezy Madden here giving us an object lesson in how to wagon a horse round here clear, and we'll probably get a similar display, hopefully, from Kevin Stote, because I think both of these nations deserve to be equal second. Nobody's gone well enough to deserve to beat the Germans. But considering that the United States here, and I'm, you know, I hate to say this, I'm not running down Richard Spooner, But I mean, they've virtually been down
What
to 3 horses.
What a super double clear.
Super round, wasn't it? Absolutely super round. 5 double clears.
And that keeps the United States on 12 penalties in second place at the moment. So they could... What that does is actually nudges down Great Britain.
It does actually, you know.
Great Britain and Ukraine, who are on point scoring.
And don't forget, of course, that the United States are already qualified.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, by winning in Spruce Meadows.
Yeah.
Kevin Stout.
Estoy, Akidemuz.
For a share of second, Phil.
Yeah, a clear would leave them on 12, an equal second, as you say. And France pick up valuable points.
Gifted horseman, this man, isn't he? Can ride anything in any way, any way they need to ride him, to be ridden, he can ride them. Now, these last 4 fences. Three to stay on 12 and be equal second. That's it. That's it. Another class act. And not another double clear, but 4 and clear, and 2 rounds of the highest order there for Kevin Stout, which, as it says on the graphic there, Phil, leaves them equal second, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
1 more to go for the Netherlands. Superb performance there from Kevin Stout. A new addition to his string, not an established one at all, but a very welcome one, I would say. Netherlands.
Yeah, Freiling, VDL Pubaloo, already shown us a class performance this afternoon with a clear in the first round.
This horse does try to jump fences. The best they can muster, if he's clear, is 16. They've got a 4, 12 and an 8 in this round, carrying 4. So they'll discard the 12. 16 would be their best. Finish on 20, Phil.
Just inside that 85-second time allowed. We did have a few time faults during the day. A clear and 4 faults from Ger Freiling and VDL Babaloo, which leaves the Netherlands on 20 penalties into seventh place. But Steve, it looked very good from the beginning, the German team, and quite honestly, it was the Germans and the rest nowhere.
The rest nowhere. I mean, they pulverised them, haven't they? Blown them out of the water. I mean, an absolutely overwhelming performance here for Germany. Team Germany in the 7th leg of this Division 1 of the Furussia FEI Nations Cup.
Happy, very happy. No, it was, he jumped very good. The first round was nearly perfect, and I'm very happy that we won.
The Swiss hold their place at the top of the league table. However, following a strong performance at Hickstead, France are close behind in second, the Dutch drop to third in the standings, whilst the victorious Germans jump up to fourth. The 4 teams at the bottom of the division will be scoring points at the deciding last leg of the competition next week, so all is still to play for to be at the World Final in Barcelona. Join us next week as we head to Dublin for the final leg of Europe's Division 1 of the Furussia FEI Nations Cup jumping, where this nail-biting league will come to a dramatic close.